Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ansel Armstrong back again here. It's Wednesday. Every other Wednesday, you know what the drill is. We got our roster update prediction video coming your way. We're talking about who's going to be going diamond, who's not going to be going diamond. That's Jesse Winker. We'll be talking about him in this video. I've been getting a lot of questions about him. Be chatting about him, and of course, we're going to be looking at it from a perspective of how can you make subs. Who are some guys that are still a good value play? So your Matt Barnes, Lance Lynn, Yuli Gurriel, guys like that. I don't necessarily think that they aren't going diamond, but at their current value point, at their current price point, there's not really any space to go in and make subs. If you're buying them for 45, 4,600, you're making 200 to 300, 400 stubs on them. That's a lot of stubs to put up as a risk into doing so, because as we saw with last roster update, Lance Lynn not getting it. No guarantees with anybody of somebody going diamond or going gold to diamond or going silver to gold or whatever you want to look at. No guarantees at all. But let's hop into it. Let's take a look at the players I'm looking at this week. We have 3 from gold to diamond and 3 from silver to gold. The first player we're looking at here, it was our lightning player of the month this month. If you need any evidence to how well he's been playing, my man's just got that lightning card. We don't use the word lock at all, but if Semien gets moved to second base where he's primarily been playing this year, he is essentially a lock to get that overall boost at that point, as your attributes and ratings affect your overall differently based off position. So just moving him to second alone should be enough to get him the diamond based off how the overall is calculated there. He could even get it at shortstop just because he's been playing insane as well. So Semien is by far my favorite investment so far this week. Selling at 3,300 subs, that is still quite a bit of profit margin, quite a bit of room to come in and buy up. 3,300 subs, you can make quite a bit off of them. I love Semien so far. His average, isolated power, weighted runs created plus, everything is essentially at career highs for him. Outside of the 2019 season, where he put up 7.4 WAR and played like a diamond caliber player, Semien, honestly, in my opinion, one of the most underrated players in baseball right now. He has a really, really good shot of going diamond this week. Next guy we're looking at here, Cattell Marte. He's only played 24 games thus far, as he was dealing with an injury early in the season. He came out the gates hot. The only reason he's not a diamond, honestly, is probably because he had that injury. He missed quite a few games, but he's come back and he's picked up right at that same pace, batting 366 right now. Oh, almost a 400 on base percentage, isolated power, almost at a career high. Outside of 2019, where he put up 7 WAR and was a diamond caliber player. And more importantly, when you break down his splits, he's hitting 320 versus righties this year and has 2 homers versus righties and very, very limited small sample size. Only played 24 games, so only has 4 home runs total. But he's showing some ability to hit righties this year, which clearly, looking at his card, that's where he struggles against. He doesn't hit as well versus righties. He's been doing that so far this year. If he gets that upgrade to his versus right, he only needs +2 overall. It wouldn't take too much to do it. And he still has room to grow in his contact and power versus left. Not so much as contact. That's probably not moving up from 97, even though he's batting over 500 versus lefties. Maybe a little bump at his power, but really, he has that room to grow versus right, and he's hitting righties very well. Cattell Marte crushing it since coming back from his injury. I think he has a really, really good shot of getting that upgrade. 3,500 subs right now. So a 1,500 sub profit per card if you were to go diamond this Friday. Don't look now, but Craig Kimbrough may have gone into a time machine back to 2014, because he's playing the best baseball we've seen from Craig Kimbrough in a long time. Arguably his entire year, Craig Kimbrough has been elite for the Cubs this year. You want to talk about a guy who has some chance to get upgraded, it's definitely Craig. Obviously, he had fallen off. 5.28 ERA in 2020, 6.53 in 2019, but so far this year, a 0.75 ERA. His strikeouts at 15 Ks per 9, and he's not giving up many hits, but of course, he doesn't really have any room to grow there. 108 hits per 9, 98 Ks per 9. Those are really high numbers. Those probably aren't getting upgraded. What can get upgraded, though, is a 37 walks per 9. Last year, he walked 7 hitters per 9 innings. The year before that, he walked 5.23 batters per 9 innings. This year, 3 batters per 9 innings. So he's halved his number from last year. It is now actually walking hitters at a rate lower than his career average. Back in line when he was walking just a hair over 2 hitters per 9 innings, back when he was considered the best closer in baseball. Craig Kimbrough's gotten back to that level, 82 overall right now, so he does need some work. He does need 3 overall points to get up. Could be a bit more of a long-term play, but a simple boost to his walks per 9 is going to get him to that diamond level. And here's the best part about Craig Kimbrough. We go over to his locations tab. 1,700 stubs on the sell now right now, 1,873 on the buy now. You want to talk about profit? You want to talk about return on investment? If you invest in Craig Kimbrough and he gets a plus 15, plus 20 to his walks per 9, who knows? They could go crazy and justify it. He could get a diamond, and all of a sudden you turn your 1,700 subs to 5,000 per however many cards you have. That's big time money plays right there. That's a lot of stubs you're hitting on. Let's talk about Jesse Winker real quick. I get a lot of people asking me, is Jesse Winker going diamond? Is he going to make it? Is he going to go diamond? It's not going to happen. I'm sorry to burst the bubble, but it's not happening. This is actually a really good example right now. 5-star inside edge is giving him plus 15 contact left and plus 15 power left, and he still only gets to an 83 because he has pretty atrocious fielding numbers, dragging him down quite a bit. Now, let me say this. Jesse Winker has been insane this year. He's been absolutely destroying the ball. However, that is almost entirely come versus righties. He's hit 17 home runs this year. 16 of those have been against right-handed pitchers. He's hitting 376 against right-handed pitching, but he's hitting 225 versus lefties. So his right-handed hitting in game naturally reflects that. 106 contact right, 95 power right. Could probably get a boost to his power right, but again, not much. A 5, maybe a 10 to his power right. What he's not going to get is a boost to his contact and power versus left. Because again, he's batting 225 versus lefties with 1 home run on the season. That is not justifiable for an attribute upgrade in any way, shape, or form, much less 4 overall points. So he needs quite a bit, and he's not playing in a level to justify that where he's at right now. Similar guys, those power hitters like Castellanos or Stanton, or at least have somewhat passable splits. Jesse Winker, I hate to say it, he just can't hit lefties. He's not doing that. If he ever figures out how to hit lefties, he'll be a diamond almost immediately. But until that happens, he doesn't have any room to upgrade. There's just no feasible way for him to get 4 overall point boost based off where his attributes lie right now and how he's playing. So just wanted to put that out there on Jesse Winker. Now, before we hop into our silvers to golds, 2 other golds I'm looking at. One, Ozzie Albies. He's starting to heat up. Watch out for him. We got to talk about Ozzie. If it's a roster update video, we got to talk about Ozzie. Otherwise, it's not complete. He's starting to heat up. My man's just raised his batting average like 20, 25 points over the last week or so. Last 2 weeks, that batting average of balls in play is creeping up. Let that continue to go up another 30 points. Let his average get up to like 280 all of a sudden. My man's just cooking with fire. Just watch out for him a little bit. Another guy starting to make some moves, starting to show some good starts. Freddie Peralta, real cheap, right around quick sell value. Can't really risk any stubs there at quick sell. He's starting to heat up a little bit. He's had a couple good outings back to back. So be on the lookout for Freddie Peralta and some future updates. Now, the first guy we're looking at here for silver to gold, it's Robbie Ray. Another guy who, as you can see, the worst stat he has is walks per 9. He's a 78. Just needs that +2 boost to get up to that gold level. A 57 walks per 9. But when we look at his stats, walking people at a career low, a 2.1 walks per 9 right now, compared to last year that was north of 7, and his career average that's around 4. So a guy who's definitely deserving of a walks per 9 upgrade. And at a 78, he just needs a little slight bump to get his way up to 80. Could also get some hits per 9s, Ks per 9 ups as well. But Robbie Ray overall has been pitching really, really well this year. 3.3 ERA, pitching significantly better than he did last year. He's looked really solid. If he can continue to not walk people, he should certainly get that upgrade to gold. And 600 subs on the sell now right now. That's a solid little 400 profit per, almost doubling up your stubs. Next, we're looking at Yoan Moncada. Maybe slightly bit more of a long-term play, but Moncada is kind of sneakily putting together one of the best seasons he's had so far. He's only 25 still, which is kind of crazy to think about. But Moncada may be finally breaking out into the player we thought he would be. He's currently batting 292, career high on base percentage, a career high walk rate, a career low strikeout rate. Moncada has been playing very well this year. His splits are pretty even as well. So he's been hitting around 300 versus both righties and lefties. All of his home runs have come versus righties. So maybe a slight bump in that 66 power right there. That 46 power left, probably not going anywhere. He hadn't hit any home runs yet. His isolated power is slightly down, but if that kind of comes up more in line with how he's been hitting overall, I like Moncada a ton. His average exit velo is up towards his career high. His barrel percentage is up towards his career high. Moncada's kind of coming into form, slightly maybe overshadowed in that White Sox lineup. That's really good. You have a ton of stars around there, especially at the start of the season with Eloy and Robert still around at that point. Moncada maybe a little bit overshadowed, selling for 380 Stubs right now. I don't know if he gets quite a +4 this week. Certainly possible. Wouldn't be the first time it would happen, but Moncada continues to play how he's been playing right now. Almost certainly going to become a gold at some point. Now, the last guy we're looking at here, Alberto Monteci. Again, bit of a longer term play. Monteci has missed most of the season with injury. He just came back right at the end of May. He's only played 7 games so far, but in that 7 games, he's been on absolute fire. He's currently batting .360. He's already hit 2 home runs in 7 games. So he's going to have to show this for a much longer stretch than just 7 games. And it could just be a hot start. But Monteci, 79 overall. He's propped up by the good fielding and the good speed, right? So he's a guy who has room to grow in his hitting attributes. 57 contact right, 69 contact left, not great hitting attributes. Lots of room to grow there. At a 79, he just needs a little smudge on that to get up into that gold level. And certainly if he hits anywhere close to 360 for the year, he's going to be getting that. Obviously, he's not going to keep up that stretch that he's on. But even if he shows himself to be a 300 hitter with a little bit more pop than what we've seen so far, and he's shown flashes of that pop, Monteci is certainly going to be finding his way up in the gold. Right now, selling a little bit higher, 566, but he is a 79, so needs a lot less to get up there. Maybe they go crazy. They could give him this week. It's certainly possible. I'd be on the lookout for Monteci as well, though. So that does do it for today's roster update. Those are the 6 guys that I'm looking at this week. Of course, as always, let me know down in the comment section below. Who are you looking at? Who are you investing in? Who do you think is going to be upgraded? Who am I overlooking in this roster update video? One of my favorite parts of these videos, again, to interact with y'all in the comment section below. So definitely be sure to drop your takes and your opinions down below. I'd love to hear them. As always, if you enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the support over the channel so far here in MLB 21. Until next time, though, I'll catch y'all around.